Welcome, guys, to another elimination round. For this week's elimination tattoo, we asked you to create a tribal tattoo that incorporates your own personal style. Tommy, step up. How do you feel about how you did?
I was happy about it. I tried to keep a feminine piece, obviously, on a girl's back.
We're looking at line work. What lines you did put in this are clean.
I think that the task at hand being injecting your own creativity into the tribal flow and making it your own, you definitely succeeded with.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Welcome, artists. This was the judges' first chance to see what you can do on real, live skin. This week, your elimination tattoo was giving a virgin their first ink. We were testing your fundamentals. Lalo.
I look at this guy knows what he's doing. The black is black, a lot of different tones of gradation. It's obvious you know how to tattoo.
Today, we tossed you into the fire by making all of you tattoo a phoenix, giving us a side-by-side comparison of texture. Jimmy.
Good, clean, solid tattoo, man. The thing about it is that today being texture day, I don't feel like you really gave us those little tricky textures.
If I would have shrunk that down about an hour size, I think that's what it would have needed.
As far as your technical application, this is the smooth, solid, seasoned tattooer application. It's just done well.
Thank you guys for your time.
Today, you had to tattoo a subject intimidating for even the best tattoo artists. A portrait. Joey. In terms of accuracy, he looks angrier in the tattoo than he does in the picture.
He does look a little more aggro just from the shading on the brow lines. But if you follow that down and you see the lightness here and you see the shape around the eye socket, how dark that is, that's one of the darker parts on the portrait. On your tattoo, that whole shade comes down the face and the shading on the cheek is just a little bit darker than the photo.
But I think that it will heal differently and it'll be lighter.
Yeah, but either way, the darkness that you have in the cheek is almost as dark as what you have in the eye, and that's gonna all heal the same. Doing that heavy shading, it pronounces something on him that he really doesn't have pronounced. The darkness got away from you, and it's making him look majorly different.
This week, you had a true test of consistency, a geometric tattoo. Scott, let's start with you.
This is a very cool design, man. The shading that gives this thing depth, it's very consistent throughout the whole tattoo.
This is a great tattoo. You didn't go on overkill, you didn't do any needless background.
I pumped the brakes, like, you know.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's about pumping brakes. Kick-ass tattoo.
Appreciate it.
This week, we asked you to show perfect placement with an aquatic tattoo. Scott, you're up first.
Man, I love this tattoo. The placement is just right. What I like the most about how it fits the body is how soft the edges of the design are. It's a delicate, beautiful tattoo, but it's also tough and badass.
I love the dark rings that you do through the background. This is not senseless background. This is background that means something, and this is a tattoo that we'd love to see come out of Ink Master.
Thank you.
Maddie.
This is a very big, bold tattoo. My only real complaint is the big area of black above the whale. I wish you would have broken that up with a couple of layers of clouds.
But overall, beautiful lines, beautiful shading, beautiful traditional style. This tattoo is very nice, man.
Thank you.
Today, you all went head-to-head tattooing the same subject, a pinup. Eric.
Technically speaking, this is one of my favorite tattoos of the day. You did capture some nice details. You do have some nice, good color blends.
You really did tattoo one of the sexier female forms of the day. And in terms of artistry, really great design.
Thank you very much.
Today, all of you went head-to-head creating biomechanical tattoos. Josh.
Overall, it was a little bit clunky. There are these big shapes just kind of flopped in there. But definitely a biomech tattoo, has a lot of detail. It's got good elements to it.
The shading that you did in all of your big pieces looks great. Technically, the thing's really nice.
Today, you had to use saturation to tattoo the Roman god of the sea, Neptune. Dave, let's start with you.
Blue is a really tricky color to saturate well, and you did a good job. As far as the design, it's a little bit cut and paste. It looks very static in the design.
It's a well-executed tattoo, but artistically, you're just putting one image in front of the other and you're letting it ride.
Honestly, tried putting the best foot forward to give you something more dynamic, more than the saturation part of the challenge. That's how I feel.
Yeah, but Dave, there's nothing dynamic about this tattoo. It's a mannequin in the blue. This is boring.
Dave, let me tell you what I think the most up thing about this tattoo is. It's one of the best ones of the day. That's what crazy.
Today, you had to use finesse to create intricate Victorian tattoos on very delicate skin. Craig.
It was a very hard challenge to try to do these parallel lines that go across the bottom of the crown, right there across the divot of his throat. The circle comes out pretty wonky, but at the end of the day, it's a strong, clear image.
What you did here, and with a great use of finesse, is make a masculine tattoo for this guy that is in the Victorian style. I think it's a great job, man. Today, Sausage challenged you to transform your canvas into a comic book character. Alex, what comic book character did your canvas want to be?
She wanted to have the power of bringing in all the negative energy from everybody in the world and pushing it out into positive energy.
In terms of creativity, you did a good job here, trying to portray that characteristic. Your use of the negative and positive elements on the hands and the energies flowing through it, and almost creating this infinity symbol at the same time, is a very cool creative process. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Today, you had to show perfect composition by tattooing Medusa. Sketchy lawyer.
Technically, this tattoo's smooth as ice, man. Clean lines, smooth shading, and you're one of the only people today that made a design that fit the body well.
You definitely secure your position at this moment. Strong tattoo.
Thank you. Today, we were testing accuracy with toddler portraits. Each of you went head-to-head with another artist on the same portrait. Let's see how you did. Kelly, you tattooed the same portrait as Nikki.
Kelly does capture the likeness of the child, which actually kind of surprises me because you changed a lot. You did give the chin definition. You closed the mouth. There's no teeth. You also went a little too dark right here with the dimples. It just pinches that mouth really tight in there.
Why did you change it?
Honestly, I didn't want it to look like he had a snaggle tooth.
But he does have a snaggle tooth in the photo. Even though you took some liberties, you captured that baby face. The left side of the face, you let the sun hit that side of the hair. The subtle little touches really work.
So who gets the win?
Nikki's missed it on the likeness in a lot of areas. Accuracy is a little bit off. Kelly, on all fronts, gets it.
I would say Kelly.
Kelly gets it.
The judges have decided the winner of this head-to-head is Kelly.
Thank you.
Today, you had to create battle scenes with clear composition. Unkindness art. Compositionally, you got a cool, active character in the foreground. You've got the lion, which is the shining moment of the drawing, but his paws are kind of like off to the side. It's not ferocious, it's kind of whimpering away. You missed an opportunity to make this look even more in battle. Today, you had to prove your fundamentals tattooing a maze. Let's see how you did. Jeremy.
This tattoo is nice and clean, it's legible, and the outline is very nice. It's a perfect example of how simple can hit the challenge.
Well, good job.
Thank you.
Team Clean. Today, you had to be consistent tattooing wristbands. Tony.
Overall, you get a really appealing piece that wraps. You have multiple line weights that contrast really well. For consistency, anywhere you look at it, it looks like it all flows together.
Letting this thing breathe with these big, heavy black outlines complements her. You're a great technician. You really show that you have strong fundamentals and you can keep up with yourself in any situation.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Just keep giving him those good skill picks till he gets to the finale. I'm cool with that.
You keep coaching your other guys out the door.
Yeah.
Today, you were being tested on creativity, tattooing difficult body parts. Chris.
This tattoo definitely is solid for you. Your outline's solid, your color's solid.
Overall, this style, I think you hit it. Has a lot of pop to it.
Thank you.
Today was your first opportunity as a team to strike fear into the heart of your opponents. All right, let's move on to the men's team. All right, guys, what was the plan here?
We wanted 3 separate pieces that kind of follow the same theme. You start with a warrior in his prime. In the middle, you have the final stand, you know, an old warrior dying the honorable death, where you have, in the last scene, the raven as his spirit carrying on.
We didn't want to just do, like, one style across the board. We didn't want to give you 3 ladies' heads, you know, no offense. We just wanted to showcase styles that we all had powers in.
All right, well, let's get into the first tattoo.
Overall, man, there's some really smooth gray shading in this tattoo. Very simple composition, very simple layout. I like the way the water's done, but overall, this tattoo has a very cut and paste feel. It looks like you found a wave, found a boat, found a dude, you glued them all together, and it doesn't really look seamless.
Please be mindful of putting images together with different light sources and then slapping it on. And then you're like, oh shit, something's off. What's off? The lighting.
All right, let's move on to the next tattoo.
It's a very cool stylized illustration. The line work in the beard, very clean, very deliberate. Looks very well planned out.
The eyes, nose, and mouth and the black and gray application in this tattoo look great, but I'll never be a fan of watercolor. The day that you have to go up against somebody who's putting in color and your color looks like this, you lose.
You're not going to see watercolor on other designs that come through here. I'm here to step outside of the watercolor.
My man.
Let's move on to the last men's tattoo.
It has a pretty rough overall application to it. You look in the helmet, a lot of wonky lines, a lot of rush-looking shading, a lot of not saturated color.
Look right in the dead center of the helmet at the black fading out to the blue.
We call that beat.
The anatomy of your raven doesn't add up. The wings coming out of the top of the head just above the eye. That doesn't make sense.
This week, you're being tested on marketability. Jake, let's get into your day 1 tattoo.
Tonal overall. The shading on the backside of the tentacle looks like the shading in the skull looks like the shading in the boat.
This was a lot of shit to try to fit in one thing.
You gotta accentuate some things, man. You gotta push and pull dark and light to separate things.
Let's take a look at your day 2 tattoo.
From the arm up, he's hairy. From the arm down, you don't have a single fur texture.
Just try to change it up so it didn't look like which part's the leg, which part's the stick. Like, that was all intentional.
Right, but you want to keep it furry. The knees and the wrinkles, the way that you have it in the legs, they look like skin.
All right, judges, time to determine, is Jake safe?
There is some shortcomings overall. Doing decent tattoos is not gonna win this competition. If you're gonna be safe, you gotta really push the limits.
I'm on board with Oliver.
Jake, you are not safe from elimination. Today, you are being tested on contrast with neon light tattoos. Let's see how you did. Jessa.
Hey, guys.
Outlining the entire shape in purple or lavender to create a glow isn't a light source. It just doesn't make sense. Nothing in the drapery gets lit, and then the hand would have light pushing out. Everything would have light pushing out, so it would have some form of radiance. Capturing radiance is what you're missing here.
Today, you had to show color theory with a new school food tattoo. Hiram.
Talking about color theory, and you're gonna put ice blue next to yellow. And the thing in between the ice blue and the yellow is gonna be the bun. You don't have color theory there because you don't have a pop. So the tattoo just falls short on how you play your colors.
You did a good job, man.
Better than I expected.
Today, you had to execute perfectly composed Japanese tattoos. Gian.
All right.
You went big.
I went big. It was literally the size of my torso. I kept it really traditional.
I'm buying it. Keep selling it.
$250,000, I'm gonna sell this shit.
I love the red. Color's awesome. I love the cherry blossoms. Your outline's stellar. That's one of the strongest points you have. It's just great line work. I would have loved to see you do a little bit different thicknesses of lines.
If you bolded some lines, that would allow you to have so much more power to your tattoo.
Should have used a thicker line, Gian. What were you thinking?
Today, you had to tattoo color portraits. Let's see how you did. Bob, you're up first.
The precision in the nose and the mouth is really nice. I can totally feel his smile and warmth. I would have loved to see you bump the contrast up more around it. It's a little light. You either make the backside of the head darker or you make the background darker.
The hoodie that the kid is wearing is so good, and it puts so much contrast on the bottom of that chin. That's the strongest part of this tattoo. I wish it continued as I look up, but it loses power a little bit because it's so light.